Once upon a time, there lived a little girl who hid her humble origins all her life and preferred to invent her own legend. Once upon a time, there was an orphanage behind the walls of a convent, the Abbey of Aubazine, where Gabrielle spent nearly 7 years. The Romanesque purity of this ascetic world would inspire her sense of austerity and her taste for black and white. Black because it accentuates the essential and recalls the monastic rigor of the uniforms of the Aubazine orphanage. Because for Gabrielle Chanel, it reveals a woman's radiance. Thanks to Chanel, black evolved from the garments of servants and those in mourning to become, since 1926, the color of elegance, epitomized by the little black dress. I impose black, it reigns still, because black trumps all, Mademoiselle declared. White because it reminds Coco of the cornets of the nuns from her childhood and of the communion dress given to her by her father. White because it illuminates Coco's strands of pearls, her camellias and the bouquets of flowers that surround her with perpetual spring. White like her timeless silk pajamas, like the dress that she wore to Diaghilev's funeral. Black and white together, because one cannot exist without the other, because they are absolutely pure and in perfect accord. Because they are the signature of Chanel. While the opulence of religious garments and ceremonial objects would spark her fascination with Baroque style, gold and colored gems in years to come. She dressed like no one else, taking her inspiration from masculine attire and inventing new styles of hat, which she stripped off their birds and feathers to make them simpler, lighter, more chic. Her first clients were working girls, but society quickly followed. Once upon a time, a revolution came to pass when, in a stroke of genius, Coco Chanel transformed the female silhouette. She shortened dresses, revealed ankles, freed the waist, eliminated corsets, revived jersey, cut her hair and bronzed her skin. Chanel closed one era and launched a new century of fashion. Once upon a time, at 31 Rue Cambon, Mademoiselle Chanel opened her first couture house in Paris in 1918. Once upon a time, the Second World War was announced. At 55 years, at the height of her glory, Gabrielle Chanel closes the atelier on the Rue Cambon. Once upon a time, Gabrielle Chanel made a triumphant return, beginning as if from the first day. She rails against the fashions designed by men who have once again bound women in bustiers, corsets, and full skirts. Mademoiselle rallies her team and reopens her couture house. She's 70 years old. Once upon a time, Coco Chanel chose her lucky number as the date for her first runway show, February 5, 1954. Sitting unseen at the top of the famous staircase on the Rue Cambon, she watches as her models parade in utter silence. The French press tears her apart, ridiculing her designs and sneering at her age. Once upon a time, America soon discovered and embraced the style of Chanel. Life, the most read magazine in the United States, writes, at 71 years old, Gabrielle Chanel brings more than a style, a revolution.
The international press, hungry for modernity and change, acclaimed the style and allure of Chanel. She made the front page of magazines worldwide. The clients followed. The most beautiful women were soon seen wearing the Chanel jacket. There are things in fashion that never go out of style. Jeans, a white shirt, and a Chanel jacket, concludes Karl Lagerfeld.
Once upon a time, the feminine eternal is forever defined by the House of Chanel. Nearly half a century after the death of Mademoiselle, the style of Chanel endures thanks to the genius of Karl Lagerfeld, who never ceases to cultivate, to reinvent, and to exalt its legacy. Once upon a time, there was Chanel.